I have been thoroughly testing the GardePro X60P Live Max cellular trail camera for the last 3 weeks. This is my in-depth review. GardePro sent me this camera, but I have tested it thoroughly and this is my unbiased view of what I have found. The unit comes in decent looking packaging. In the box you'll find the camera, aerial, tree strap, charging/data cable and manuals. The SIM card and 8000 mAh battery pack are pre-installed, while the SD card is internal with 32GB storage. The camera is well made from strong plastic with a clean finish. On top is where the aerial screws in. On the back you'll see that you can attach a security cable and the slots for the tree strap are also located here. On the side is the closing mechanism, which is easy to use and can be secured with a padlock. On the front it has 3 motion sensors, 2 to the side and 1 forward, with a fast trigger time of 0.1 second advertised. This is also where you'll find the 48 megapixel camera that shoots 1296p HD video with audio at an angle of 120 degrees, along with the 36 no-glow infrared LEDs that can illuminate up to 100 foot at night, but are not visible to humans or animals. Inside the unit there is a nice big LCD screen on one side with all the buttons to navigate through the menus, as well as the USB port. On the other side is where you'll find the 8000 mAh rechargeable battery pack. The pre-installed SIM card will connect to the strongest 4G LTE network, but you must choose the correct region when you purchase the camera, otherwise it will not work. Another key feature of the camera is its live stream feature, which allows you to get a real-time video feed. There are several accessories available, including extra batteries, solar panels and a metal security box. I have the SB300 solar panel, which is well made, weatherproof and easy to install in a tree with the included bracket or using the 1/4 inch mount. The security box is sturdy but has to be screwed in before padlocking the camera inside. I would probably prefer to use the security cable option in the field. After downloading the app, setting up the camera was easy. There are instructions on YouTube as well as in the manual. I just followed the YouTube video. Activation took about 10 minutes and I was ready to go with a 30-day trial subscription that included some of everything except downloading full reg photos and HD video. I set the camera up in a few locations over the following 3 weeks to test the real-life user experience. The camera will send you low-resolution photos or 360p 2 frames per second preview videos as soon as the network allows. The timing of this varied from almost immediate to a dump of videos an hour later, but mostly the notifications were quick. I can only explain this by the variance in the network strength on my phone. I expect that when my phone has poor signal, the notifications take longer. I prefer video and found the 360p 2 frames per second video previews very handy. It will send you the entire video as well. The quality of the preview photos was also sufficient. There are 2 ways to retrieve the high quality images and videos. One option is to request a full resolution download, but these you have to pay for and can buy them as add-on packs. I did this and found it very handy to get full versions of the clips I wanted. However, the main way is to use the USB-C data cable and connect it to your mobile phone or laptop. Put it into the storage mode and simply copy all the files. This can be seen as either convenient or inconvenient. Having a built-in SD card means you are unlikely to lose data or due to an SD error, but you also have to download the data in the field instead of just swapping SD cards. I can see either argument, but to be honest I would just spend a few bucks and only download the clips or photos I really want. I found the storage lasted a long time and after 3 weeks of mainly videos I had only used around 15% of 32GB. Image quality was as good as you can expect from a trail camera. As with any small image sensor, it struggles to handle high contrast situations, so definitely take that into account when positioning your camera. I purposefully did it in a way that would prove difficult, and the results were what I would expect. Again, as with most small sensors, the photos and footage is a bit over-sharpened, but overall I found the quality good. In reality, you are not trying to make a film or win a photo contest. It's about decent quality that allows you to properly identify your target, and it does so well. The video comes with reasonable audio as well if that is important to you. The camera is advertised with a 0.1 second trigger speed with 3 motion sensors, 2 on the side and 1 forward covering the 120 degrees of the camera. There are a few settings you can change to deal with false triggers. First, you can turn the side motion sensors on or off, and you can change the motion sensor sensitivity between low, medium and high. Both these settings can be changed within the app, but for some reason the third setting, called false trigger sensitivity, can only be set in camera. This is one of a handful of settings that can't be set via the app. I can only assume there are some sort of hardware limitations that prevent it from being set with the app, or it was simply an omission. That could be fixed with a firmware update. I just did the latest firmware update via the app, and that was a simple process. I did not have many issues with false triggers except on one extremely windy day where the camera had a lot of vegetation in frame. The great thing about being able to change the settings remotely is that you can change the various sensitivity settings in this situation, avoiding filling up your SD card with useless photos or videos. While you can't turn the camera off, you can simply set the operating hours to avoid the period of bad weather and change it back once it has passed. One thing that I did find is that while the camera has a 120-degree angle, that also extends downward, leaving a blind spot close to the camera. However, this blind spot is covered by the sensors, so any animals that walk close to the camera in the blind spot will trigger the camera, but not show up on the footage. This is something I saw often when I either had blank videos or photos, or at the end of the video the animal would briefly pop into frame. Overall, this was not a big issue, but it is something to be aware of if you expect lots of small animals close to the camera. Other useful settings you can change in the app is the number of photo bursts, video recording length up to 5 minutes, and detection delay. Setting the detection delay to 0 and the video record length to 10 seconds essentially results in a setting that allows you to continuously capture video as long as there is activity in front of the camera. And this is great. The GardePro X60P Live Max came with 64% battery out of the box, and I did not charge it at all. Once the solar panel was attached, it quickly went up to 70%, and GardePro states that as long as the solar panel has at least 2 hours of good sunlight per day, it can keep the unit running indefinitely. While just the battery on its own should last about a month, depending on the settings and ambient temperature. I tested the camera only in urban areas, so I never had anything less than full strength signal. It will be interesting to see how well it performs in more remote areas. Overall, I found the camera and the app easy to use and had no issues with either during testing. The app never got stuck or hung up or crashed, and the camera worked without issue. I'm going to be doing the testing now. I'm going to start with 3 photo bursts at 30, 60 and 90 yards. I'm just walking past at 30, and then I'm going to walk past at 60 and 90 yards at normal pace. So the camera easily captured me at 30, 60 and 90 yards with all 3 bursts. I was in frame, and I have to say that the side motion sensors were on, and the PIR sensitivity was set to high, and the false trigger sensitivity set to low. So it's at its most sensitive. This is the 12296 video at 30 feet, and I've got it on a 10-second recording. This is the 60 feet video recording. You might be able to hear the audio, not sure. Again, it had no trouble recording me in video mode at the 30, 60 and 90 foot mark in the daytime. So we will come back again and do the same tests at night. I went back at night to do the same tests, and like the daytime tests, the nighttime photo bursts worked flawlessly. But for some reason, the video at 60 feet was delayed and only captured me at the end of the video clip. I found this odd and tested it 3 times, but it happened 3 times in a row, while there was no problems with the 30 feet and 90 feet. It's odd, and I don't know why this occurred. These cameras are currently on special in the US and Canada for $99 per unit, and it is a very good deal for what you get. However, the discount does not apply to other regions, so that makes the camera considerably more expensive in New Zealand and Australia, with 569 New Zealand dollars plus shipping. On top of this price, you need to pay for the cellular features in the camera with a subscription, and there are 3 tiers. You can choose to pay monthly or pay annually. The annual payment comes with bonus live stream minutes, but further live stream minutes, HD video and high quality photo downloads need to be purchased separately. Pricing varies based on the region, and I'm only able to see the Australian dollar pricing, which at the top tier is $15 per month or $144 per year. As far as I can work out, the plans can be purchased only in the app. My experience with the GardePro X60P Live Max has been very good. Everything has worked as I expected, apart from a couple of minor quirks, like not being able to set some of the settings in the app and having a blind spot close to the camera. I think at the discount offered in the US and Canada at the moment, the camera is a steal and well worth the dollars. In New Zealand and Australia, I'm not sure if I would spend as much, But there isn't as many cellular trail camera options available in New Zealand, and they are not that much cheaper anyway. The SpyPoint Flex M, for example, is much lower spec than the GardePro, but it doesn't offer nearly as many features, and it is already $449. I'll leave it up to you to make the final decision. And if you decide to choose to buy the camera, please use the link provided in the description. It doesn't cost you anything, but it will give me a small commission, and that helps me keep the channel running. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.